Hey, what's up, guys? So, we are here today to review another One Punch Man redraw. So, I didn't review the last one because a lot of it was the same with just very minor differences. However, with this redraw, chapter 196, there is significant differences, and we've actually been led to a different environment as opposed to the previous original. So I'm definitely going to review this one. This one is very exciting, so we'll go ahead and get into it. However, I'm not going to cover the whole chapter, as there are still parts of this chapter that are similar to the original, and at that point I don't feel like I need to go over that. Okay, so we're just gonna go over the new stuff. All right, so we start off with a little bit of humor. So here we have Flashy Flash, Saitama, Blast, the little monster thing. They're still having their conversation inside the Hero Association right before they start their experiments on the monsters to try to demonsterify them. And Flashy Flash says, "Enough about my disciple." You could see Saitama in the background like, what the fuck? I'm not your disciple, dude. Honestly, I love that humor. That humor is really awesome. And then Flashy Flash is telling Blast to continue to tell him about God. Now, I just want to point out here, guys, Blast looks so fucking cool from this angle, bro. I mean, shit, almost any angle, no homo. He just looks really cool, bro. Like, I'm just looking at the way Yusuke Murata drew him, all the way from the shoes to the cape to the fucking armor to the body type to the fucking muscles, bro. Like, everything about him just looks super fucking cool. But I like Flashy Flash's look too. Saitama looks cool. You just got three fucking alphas here just fucking looking super fucking cool. You know what I mean? Blast pretty much tells Flashy Flash like, hey bro, if you're thinking about taking on God, you can fucking forget about it. You're not ready, bro. You ain't ready. So just chill out with that shit. And then Flashy Flash gets offended and he's like, you think you could tell me what to do just because you snuck up on me? But let's keep it real, bro. He did more than sneak up on you. That nigga could have raped you if he wanted to. So let's stop that. That nigga came up right behind you up on that ass, okay? But Flashy feels angry and he wants like revenge for them essentially. And then Blast goes on to say that he actually feels like it's his responsibility to make things right because he explains how Empty Void, who is that man, was his original partner, and how because him and his partner had failed their mission, Empty Void was influenced by God and under his control. Because of that, all of these people at the Ninja Village were sacrificed and killed due to their failure. So Blast is like, I can't accept anybody's help. I alone gotta make this right because I don't want to be responsible for anybody else getting hurt, essentially. All right, so now we can move past all that. Now, I want to point this out, bro. One thing that I think is really weird is how when Blast was telling them about his battle with Empty Void, and then he says that we were equal in abilities, which gave Empty Void the advantage when he got God's power. So essentially, Blast was trying to say that once he received God's power, he actually became stronger than me. But when they refer to this battle, it looks like Blast still was more powerful. So I'm not really understanding that power scale there. And a thing that I think is really weird is he said that I managed to give him a serious wound that would take him 15 years to recover from. How the fuck would you know immediately how long somebody's gonna take to recover from a wound? Like, that don't even make any sense. Like, if I fucking scratch somebody or hit them, and I'm like, oh shit, bro, that's gonna take you 3 weeks to recover from. Like, who knows that? You know what I'm saying? Especially 15 years. Like, who knows that something's gonna take 15 years? Would you slash half the nigga's body in half or something? Like, honestly, bro, I think that's really poor writing right there. I love one. I'm not trying to insult him and stuff, but that's just weird to put that in there. Oh, I hit him and I knew immediately it was going to take him 15 years to recover from. That's Come on, bro. But yeah, so that's no big deal. Now, there is this cool image where Blast and Flashy Flash are kind of standing right in front of each other, staring at each other and stuff, kind of sizing each other up. And again, they just both look really fucking cool. Really cool, dude. I really love the poses and the frames that Yusuke Murata drew for this redraw, man. This shit, God, this is just so cool. Now, one thing I want to point out, bro, because look, I'm a fan of Mastar Media, okay? Before I say this, I just want to let that be known. I'm a fan of Mastar. However, he's been doing some shit that I'm not a fan of. It's making me lose a little bit of respect and stuff. And I was thinking about making a separate video where I kind of talked about that again from a fan's perspective, because I am a fan of Mastar. Even with me saying what I'm about to say, I still think he's really good and stuff. But one thing I would like for him and Anime Anxiety to stop doing, because I noticed, to my knowledge, I remember Mastar Media saying it first. And I feel like Shonen, Anime Anxiety, and maybe even some other people have kind of stole this phrase from him. But let's stop calling Blast Chad.
Saitama even asking, are you sure you can win? Blast in full Chad mode says, nah, I'd win.
Saitama asks the very obvious question, do you think you can win? And Blast, of course, being the Chad that he is, he says, well, I'll figure it out.
We get it, he's super cool looking and stuff like that, but like, I had watched a little bit of Anime Anxieties as well as Mastars, and they both called him Chad. It's just like, guys, I don't know if you guys are copying each other, but for one, let's get rid of the term Chad, okay? We get it, but to hear you guys constantly call him Chad is a little annoying, so let's just leave that alone, okay? He's cool. Let's leave it at that. All right, so once the experiments are concluded, essentially, out of nowhere, Blast gets this sense. And then once he gets the sense that something is about to happen, he says, oh no, and he gets ready to activate his dimension thing, whatever he calls it. He pushes his fist together and he starts to activate a teleportation circle around the whole entire Hero Association, which, I mean, that thing has got to be like the size of a small city, bro. So the fact that he can teleport this whole entire structure in this big radius of land is really impressive. And showing the environment, the landscape, showing the entire building, showing the portal around it, bro, is crazy. Like, if you go down and just look up, you can see the cars, you can see the road, the landscape. Look at the gradients of shading in this landscape, in the street, bro. It's just so good. This shit would take forever. If he does do it on its own, bro, he's fucking amazing. Because this is blowing me away, bro. And he gave us the last chapter a week ago. You telling me he did all of this in 1 week? Oh my God. Then it disappears completely. And the way he drew all the clouds from the teleportation, the crater and the earth, it's just, God, it just looks so good, bro. Looks so good. You can see all these potholes in the land from Saitama and Tatsumaku fighting before, I believe it was. And I love how Yusuke Murata pays attention to those old references, like with the hole in the moon. Now he's got the little potholes in the land from those two duking it out and stuff. I love how he remembers those things and remembers to add them in future pictures. So that's when we see all of these slashes coming outwards into where the Hero Association was. The Hero Association has been brought back, but now you see all the damage from those slashes, and those slashes have created super deep craters in the earth. Hero Association has landed back on Earth. And then at the very top of the tower, you see that Blast is teleporting all of them on top of the Hero Association building. And then there we see Blast, Flashy Flash, the monster, Stitch, and Saitama. Saitama is he's just chilling. He already knows, like, ain't nobody fucking with me. And this might make me consider maybe Blast doesn't seem as nervous as maybe he might, because he knows that Saitama is there and he knows Saitama's true power from the previous redraw. Flashy Flash, he's starstruck. He's like, what the fuck, the ground? And I think this is where Flashy Flash is kind of getting a wake-up call, and he's probably starting to understand that Blast is maybe right. Maybe he's just not ready for this, right? So Blast says, this is Void's dimensional blade. seems like he is fully recovered now. And he's like, I guess this is his way of greeting us. Blast seems pretty calm, cool, and collected, but Flashy Flash, you could see little sweat droplets falling from his face and stuff. He's nervous, bro. He's like, damn, I had no idea that you and him were capable of this. Okay, maybe you guys are out of my league. Of course, Flashy Flash is too prideful to admit that, but I think he's starting to understand, okay, they're on a different level. However, I am confident that Flashy Flash is the type of person where he's never going to give up. So even if he knows that he's kind of out of his league, he's still going to fight, which I respect that about Flashy Flash for sure. And then Saitama's like, oh, you think you could beat him? And he calls Blast an old dude. And then Blast says, well, I'll figure it out. I haven't just been playing around either. And they show Blast just kind of posing, gripping his fist, like, yeah, I've been in the fucking gym, you know, fucking check it out. Okay, you see that? Don't fucking worry about it. And then Saitama's looking out in the distance. Flashy Flash is still shitting bricks. And Saitama says that looks like Tatsumaki's, as in some things that belongs to Tatsumaki. I noticed that in Mastars and Anime Anxieties and a few other reviews of this, they're acting like he's saying, oh, well, there's Tatsumaki. No, he's not saying there is Tatsumaki. He's saying it looks like something that belongs to Tatsumaki. Maybe her sister, or maybe her, you know, I don't know. But he's saying that looks like Tatsumaki's. But that's the end of the chapter, bro. Really good chapter. I mean, essentially at this point, bro, we're on a whole new storyline. So the reason I didn't review the last one is because it was essentially the same with very small differences. This one, however, had so much more that was new. So from this point on, I probably will cover it moving forward and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. I was definitely impressed with what Blast was able to do with the Hero Association. And I was very impressed with the Dimensional Blade from Empty Void. Now, here's the thing with this, man. I'm a little hype, but at the same time, I still have the images from the original chapters before the redraws. And again, guys, you guys know that I voiced my opinions on those. I was not impressed with them. And honestly, I kind of hate to toot my own horn, but obviously I was right, bro, because Yusuke Murata and One both agreed, yeah, this isn't good enough. So it looks like they agree with me that the originals were not good, which I find really weird because certain people like Mastar and Anime Anxiety, when the originals came out, they were like, oh, this is so hype and stuff like that. This chapter was so good.
And we got it here, and I could not be happier with the content itself.
This guy is crazy powerful, and he just unloads on Flashy Flash and Sonic. The art in this chapter is ridiculous.
But then when that letter came out on Twitter saying that they were going to do the redraws, then Mastar and Anime Anxiety were like, yeah, no, I agree with that. You know, the chapters were kind of like mediocre. They're not really good.
I honestly think this new string of redraws and retcons potentially coming up is definitely a good thing when taking a look at what we've been getting recently in the manga. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but lately in the last like 5 or 6 chapters, we've gotten a noticeable dip in quality in terms of art and also pacing of the chapter themselves.
I hope that we see something fresh and cool, because this is a pretty major backstep for One Punch Man.
It's like, what the? That's not what you said before. So what, you lying now? You just saying whatever to get the crowd hype? You know, that's another thing that I lost respect for, bro. I don't think that that's cool. Say what you mean and say how you feel. If you don't think it's good, say it's not good. Don't say it's good and then later on when the fucking author and the artist say it's not good, be like, yeah, I agree with that. No, you don't. That's not what you said before. You know what I'm saying? I like how niggas is hopping on the bandwagon now, but I was the original one who was saying, hey, this shit is not good. Just saying. Anyway. But yeah, man, this chapter was good. I was feeling it, and I am excited for the next one. However, I'm just more invested in verses right now, bro. Don't get me wrong, One Punch Man is still my shit, but I just feel like I'm more excited for the verses chapters than I am for the One Punch Man chapters. Hopefully, they could both be equal. Hopefully here in the near future, where I'm equally excited for both of them. But One and Yusuke Murata, they got to balance out all of their projects better, to the point to where the One Punch Man manga is not suffering. Because I feel like it's been suffering. They realize that. They're getting it back into gear, which I respect, but we got to keep it maintained. Well, that's it, guys, for my review of this. If you guys like this review, hit like. If you want to see more like it, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.